Sure. Daniel in the Bible know how to eat. It was only veggies. ChatGPT. It seems like you might be referring to Daniel from the Bible, particularly the story in the book of Daniel that involves his dietary choices. In this context, Daniel and his 3 friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, were taken captive to Babylon and were offered the king's food and wine. However, they chose not to defile themselves with the royal provisions. Instead, Daniel requested to eat vegetables, or a pulse, which refers to legumes like beans and peas, and drink water for 10 days as a test. At the end of this period, he and his friends were found to be healthier and better nourished than those who had eaten the king's food. This account emphasizes themes of faithfulness, health, and the importance of adhering to one's beliefs and values, particularly regarding diet. Key points about Daniel's diet. Vegetarian diet. Daniel's choice to eat only vegetables and drink water is often cited as an early example of a vegetarian or plant-based diet. Faithfulness to beliefs. Daniel's decision was rooted in his commitment to his dietary laws, which reflected his Jewish faith and identity. Health and wellness. The outcome of Daniel's diet showcased the benefits of a plant-based diet, emphasizing vitality and health. This story has inspired many people in contemporary discussions about healthy eating and plant-based diets. If you're interested in more details about Daniel's life, his experiences in Babylon, or the implications of his dietary choices, feel free to ask. Please continue to study this subject. ChatGPT. Certainly. Daniel's dietary practices, along with the historical and theological significance of his choices, open up fascinating layers of study on faith, health, and spirituality in the Bible. Here are some deeper aspects of Daniel's diet and its broader implications that may be of interest. 1. Historical and cultural context. Babylonian culture and diet. Babylon, during Daniel's time, was a center of cultural richness and variety, and royal meals likely included many luxury foods. However, these foods may have included items considered unclean by Jewish dietary laws, such as pork or foods offered to idols. Daniel's refusal to consume them was both a way to remain ritually clean and to show loyalty to his faith. Jewish dietary laws. Daniel's choice reflects the importance of kashrut, Jewish dietary laws, which were not merely about physical health but spiritual cleanliness. These laws, found in books like Leviticus, were intended to keep the people of Israel set apart. By choosing a simple diet, Daniel and his friends visibly upheld these ancient values, even in a foreign land. 2. The 10-day test of faith and health. Symbolism of 10 days. The 10-day period could symbolize a period of testing and completion, a theme repeated in other biblical contexts, e.g., the 10 plagues in Egypt, or the 10 days of testing are in Revelation 2 verse 10. This short-term test would then prove Daniel's faith and the power of adherence to God's principles. Results and divine favor. After 10 days, Daniel and his companions were healthier and appeared more vibrant than those consuming the king's fare. This outcome may suggest not only the physical benefits of plant-based eating, but also divine favor for remaining faithful to God. 3. Theological interpretation of food and faith. Food as a spiritual symbol. In many religious texts, food represents sustenance from God and obedience to divine law. In Daniel's story, his diet embodies a deeper choice, to nourish his soul by honoring God over indulging in worldly luxury. His story reflects the idea that the way we treat our bodies reflects our spiritual discipline. Resilience in a foreign culture. For Daniel and his friends, the choice to eat only vegetables and water also served as a way to maintain a distinct identity in Babylon. They chose not to fully assimilate, which later contributed to their resilience during the trials they faced, like the fiery furnace or the lion's den. 4. Health insights. The Daniel fast. Modern interpretation. Today, many Christians follow our Daniel fast, which is based on Daniel's diet. It usually involves eating only fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, along with drinking water. The fast is both a physical detox and a period of spiritual renewal, intended to cleanse the body and refocus the mind on prayer and faith. Health benefits of plant-based diets. Studies today support the physical benefits of plant-based eating, including lower risks of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Daniel's diet, though primarily spiritually motivated, serves as an early example of dietary choices that align with many modern health recommendations. 5. Moral and ethical choices in eating. Choosing simple foods over indulgence. Daniel's diet may symbolize choosing simplicity over excess, a theme that resonates with other biblical teachings on avoiding greed and focusing on humility. Impact of food on consciousness. Some theologians argue that a plant-based diet, especially one chosen for spiritual reasons, has an effect on a person's inner life and clarity. Daniel's choice is thus seen as a way to cultivate spiritual purity that could impact the way he thought, acted, and connected to God. 6. Vegetarianism and fasting in other biblical contexts. Other biblical figures and diet. Many biblical characters demonstrate fasting and dietary restrictions as part of their devotion. For example, John the Baptist consumed locusts and wild honey in the wilderness, emphasizing simplicity and reliance on God. Jesus also fasted in the desert, which served as a profound spiritual practice and preparation. Fasting as a practice of humility and repentance. Throughout the Bible, fasting and simple eating are linked to repentance and humility before God. Daniel himself fasts later in the book when he prays for Israel, showing again that food choices and prayer go hand in hand. 7. Lessons from Daniel's story for today. Holding to values in a changing world. Daniel's dietary discipline reminds us that personal values and faith can guide even the smallest choices, like what we eat. His story encourages people to remain committed to their values in the face of cultural or peer pressure. Integration of faith and health. Daniel's story suggests that health and spirituality are deeply connected. By aligning his eating habits with his beliefs, Daniel integrated faith with his physical well-being, which can be a model for those seeking holistic health approaches today. Food and spiritual clarity. This story also hints at the idea that a simpler diet can lead to spiritual clarity, a concept found in many religious and cultural traditions. For those studying the Bible or Daniel's story, it suggests that food can be more than fuel. It can be a pathway to discipline, focus, and a closer connection to one's faith. This deep dive into Daniel's story of faith, resilience, and diet illustrates how a simple choice of food can reflect a powerful commitment to faith and identity. If you'd like, we could explore more on how similar stories of faith and dietary practices appear across other books of the Bible or in early Christian history. Please go into greater detail about this subject. ChatGPT. Certainly. Let's delve into even greater detail, examining how Daniel's dietary choice touches on historical, theological, cultural, and health aspects with a view to draw as much insight as possible from this profound story. 1. Historical and cultural background of Babylonian captivity. Babylonian influence and power. The Babylonian Empire, under King Nebuchadnezzar, was at its peak when Daniel and other young Israelites were taken captive. The empire was renowned not only for its wealth and advancements in astronomy, architecture, and mathematics, but also for its religious practices and rituals, many of which were incompatible with Jewish faith and customs. Assimilation of captives. Nebuchadnezzar's approach to conquering nations often involved assimilating the best and brightest from those cultures. By educating Daniel and his friends in Babylonian literature and customs, the Babylonians hoped to integrate these young men into their society, turning them into loyal servants of the empire. Symbolism of royal food. Accepting the king's food and drink represented more than mere sustenance. It symbolized acceptance of Babylonian culture, values, and even religious practices, as much of the food was likely dedicated to Babylonian gods. For a young Jewish man like Daniel, who had been raised in strict dietary laws, partaking in such food would mean compromising his faith. 2. Jewish dietary laws and their spiritual significance. Diet as covenant loyalty. The Jewish dietary laws, detailed in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, were more than health regulations. They were integral to the covenant between Israel and God. By keeping these laws, Israelites demonstrated their holiness, a set-apart for God. Daniel's choice to avoid unclean foods was, therefore, not just about nutrition but about honoring God amidst pagan influences. Purity and the Jewish identity. Purity in Jewish tradition went beyond physical cleanliness. Dietary purity meant that every meal became a reminder of one's relationship with God. For Daniel, choosing to eat only vegetables and water was his way of maintaining this purity and resisting the influence of Babylonian paganism. 3. The 10-day test. Faith and trust in God. Testing and the number 10. The 10-day period is symbolic and reflects themes found throughout the Bible. The number 10 often signifies a complete period of testing or trial, e.g., 10 Commandments, 10 plagues, and Revelations, 10 days of tribulation. In this context, the 10 days represent a short but intense period of testing Daniel's faith. Divine intervention in health. By eating only vegetables and drinking water, Daniel and his friends were not only risking their physical appearance but also their status and favor in the Babylonian court. However, they emerged healthier and stronger, suggesting that their physical well-being was miraculously preserved, a theme often seen when individuals put their trust in God. 4. The Daniel fast and its spiritual implications. Defining the Daniel fast. Today, the Daniel fast is a popular practice inspired by this story, involving a period of only consuming fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, and water, often lasting 10 to 21 days. This fast is adopted by Christians as a time of spiritual discipline, focusing on prayer, reflection, and physical cleansing. Fasting as a means of spiritual clarity. Fasting in the Bible is often a way to bring oneself closer to God. By abstaining from certain foods, participants can focus on prayer and remove distractions, leading to clearer spiritual insights. This echoes Daniel's purpose of maintaining spiritual clarity while in Babylon. 5. Health and wellness implications of a plant-based diet. Nutritional science behind the Daniel diet. The vegetarian diet Daniel chose is rich in fiber, antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, and has been shown to improve health in numerous ways. Studies today indicate that plant-based diets can lead to better heart health, reduced risk of chronic diseases, and improved mental clarity, which aligns with their better appearance and noted in the Bible. Mental benefits of clean eating. Foods high in nutrients like magnesium, folate, and fiber, all abundant in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, contribute to mental clarity and stable moods, which might have helped Daniel and his friends maintain their focus and discipline in their training. 6. Theological lessons from Daniel's choice. Symbolic significance of vegetables and water. Vegetables and water represent a humble, minimalist approach to sustenance, in contrast to the luxurious and indulgent foods of the Babylonian king. Choosing this diet was a statement of humility, relying on God's provision rather than Babylon's abundance. Faithfulness over comfort. Daniel's decision serves as a reminder of the importance of holding onto faith even when it would be easier to compromise. For many, his story is a call to be faithful to God in the small areas, like diet, which is seen as practice for larger challenges. Living out faith in a secular society. Daniel's actions illustrate how one can live a life faithful to God even while in a society that doesn't share the same values. His dietary choice was the beginning of his larger, uncompromising commitment to God, which later included not bowing to idols and praying openly despite the threat of death. 7. Broader themes of fasting and diet in the Bible. Food as symbol of spirituality. In many parts of the Bible, the type and manner of food consumption reflect one's spiritual state. Fasting, eating simple foods, and abstaining from unclean foods are acts of faith, showing reliance on God for sustenance. Other examples of faithful eating, beyond Daniel, figures like Elijah, John the Baptist, and Jesus also had dietary practices that held spiritual meaning. Elijah ate only bread and water while fleeing from Jezebel, and Jesus fasted in the wilderness, showing that what one consumes can signify obedience, dependence, and consecration. 8. The Daniel fast is a form of ethical eating. Ethics and conscious eating. By choosing simple foods over the luxurious, possibly sacrificed meats and wines of Babylon, Daniel's diet can also be viewed as a form of ethical eating. His choice resonates with contemporary themes of mindful eating and rejecting excess. Influence on modern Christian practices. The Daniel fast has gained popularity in recent years, not only as a physical health practice but as a way of aligning eating habits with spiritual growth. Participants aim to increase their sensitivity to God as they step away from physical cravings. 9. Modern relevance of Daniel's story for spiritual discipline. Maintaining faith in secular environments. Just as Daniel held fast to his beliefs in a foreign land, many people today face similar challenges when their values or practices differ from the dominant culture. Daniel's story provides encouragement to those trying to live out their beliefs in work, education, or social settings that may not support them. Focus on simplicity and spiritual connection. In a world often filled with distractions and indulgences, the simplicity of Daniel's diet calls for a focus on what truly matters. For those observing a Daniel fast, the diet becomes an intentional removal of a noisy in life, focusing instead on one's relationship with God. 10. Long-lasting legacy and influence of Daniel's story. An example of holistic faith. The book of Daniel continues to inspire not only with its narratives of miracles and prophecy, but also with its demonstration of holistic faith. Daniel's diet highlights how physical choices can have a profound impact on spiritual life, showing that honoring God involves the whole self. Daniel as a model of integrity and faithfulness. For many, Daniel's choice serves as a model for integrity, showing how one can maintain a commitment to faith under pressure. His choice of food reflects his lifelong commitment, paving the way for the courage he would later display in the lion's den. In sum, Daniel's dietary choice represents a powerful, multifaceted example of living a life that honors one's faith in every decision. His commitment to eating only vegetables and water, though seemingly small, is part of a much larger story about faithfulness, resilience, and trust in God. This simple act of devotion allowed Daniel to live out his faith and continues to resonate deeply with those who look to his story for inspiration. If you're interested, I can also explore related themes or delve into how different theological perspectives view this choice. Is there any more information we can learn about eating healthy this way? ChatGPT. Certainly. The Daniel-inspired diet, centered around plant-based, whole foods, offers a variety of health benefits and insights into mindful, nutritious eating. Let's examine the additional dimensions and benefits of this approach from a nutritional, physiological, and even psychological standpoint. We can also explore modern studies on plant-based diets and practical ways to apply these principles. 1. Nutritional benefits of a plant-based diet. Rich in nutrients. A diet focused on vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and whole grains provides essential vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. For example, leafy greens are high in vitamins A, C, and K, while legumes, beans, lentils, etc., are excellent sources of plant protein, fiber, iron, and B vitamins. Antioxidant power. Plant-based diets are rich in antioxidants, which combat oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Antioxidants, found in brightly colored fruits and vegetables, like berries, carrots, and spinach, help protect cells from damage, potentially reducing the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and cancer. Fiber-rich for digestive health. High-fiber foods help maintain digestive health by promoting regular bowel movements and feeding beneficial gut bacteria. Fiber from whole grains, vegetables, and fruits can also help manage blood sugar levels and support healthy cholesterol levels. 2. Health benefits supported by scientific studies. Heart health. Studies show that plant-based diets are associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. For example, research from the American Heart Association suggests that diets rich in vegetables, fruits, and whole grains can reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke due to their impact on cholesterol, blood pressure, and overall inflammation. Weight management and metabolism. Plant-based diets tend to be lower in calories than diets heavy in processed foods and animal products, helping with weight management. They also have a positive effect on metabolism, as the fiber content can improve satiety, making people feel fuller with fewer calories. Reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. The high fiber content and low glycemic load of whole, plant-based foods help stabilize blood sugar levels, which can prevent or manage type 2 diabetes. Research published in the journal Diabetes Care highlights that those who follow plant-based diets often have lower insulin resistance and better blood sugar control. 3. Psychological and mental health benefits. Mood stabilization. Emerging studies indicate that a high intake of fruits and vegetables is associated with better mental health and mood stability. Nutrients like folate in leafy greens, omega-3 fatty acids in seeds like flaxseed and chia, and magnesium in legumes and whole grains play roles in neurotransmitter function, which can positively impact mood. Mental clarity and focus. Nutrient-dense, plant-based diets have been linked to improved cognitive function. This could be due to antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that help protect brain cells, as well as the blood sugar stabilizing effects of whole foods that prevent energy crashes. Mindful eating. Daniel's approach fosters a mindful relationship with food. Practicing mindfulness while eating can encourage a deeper appreciation for food, reduce overeating, and increase awareness of hunger and fullness cues. 4. Practical tips for adopting a Daniel-inspired diet. Emphasize variety. A key to balanced nutrition is incorporating a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. Each type of plant food offers different nutrients, so eating a diverse array helps cover nutritional needs. Plan for protein. While a plant-based diet provides adequate protein, it's helpful to include high-protein options like lentils, chickpeas, black beans, quinoa, and chia seeds. Combining different protein sources, e.g., grains and legumes, also provides a full range of amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. Whole foods over processed. The simplicity of Daniel's diet underscores the benefits of eating minimally processed foods. Whole grains, like oats, quinoa, and brown rice, are preferable over refined grains, and fresh vegetables are more nutrient-rich than canned or heavily processed versions. Hydration with water. Avoiding processed drinks and focusing on water, as Daniel did, is a cornerstone of good health. Water supports every cellular function, from digestion to nutrient transport, and keeps the body functioning optimally. 5. Incorporating fasting for health and spiritual benefits. Benefits of intermittent fasting. Fasting has been shown to promote autophagy, a natural cell repair process. Autophagy helps remove damaged cells, supports metabolism, and may have anti-aging effects. Intermittent fasting, where food is consumed within a set window each day, is a popular modern adaptation that supports both physical health and mental clarity. Spiritual and mental focus. Fasting can also enhance focus, both mentally and spiritually. Many people report feeling more clarity and heightened spiritual awareness when they fast, likely due to reduced digestive demands and increased presence in their daily routines. 6. Modern-day Daniel fast and healthful alternatives. Whole grains and legumes. Brown rice, quinoa, lentils, and chickpeas can replace highly processed grains, providing more fiber and nutrients. These are filling, versatile, and can be easily incorporated into soups, salads, and main dishes. Nutritious snacks. Rather than processed snack foods, options like nuts, seeds, vegetable sticks, and hummus make satisfying, nutrient-dense snacks. Healthy fats from whole sources. Incorporate whole food fat sources such as avocados, nuts, and seeds rather than processed oils. These provide essential fatty acids and support brain health, skin integrity, and hormone balance. Spices and herbs for flavor and health. Using herbs and spices not only enhances flavor but also adds health benefits. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, and cinnamon are known for their anti-inflammatory properties, which can support overall wellness. 7. Connection between physical health and spiritual discipline. Self-control and discipline. Choosing whole, simple foods fosters a form of self-discipline that echoes Daniel's choice to remain set apart in his faith. Maintaining dietary discipline can build mental resilience and strengthen one's ability to resist various temptations, both dietary and otherwise. Body as a temple. For those of faith, the body is often seen as a temple for God's Spirit. Eating nutritious, whole foods can be viewed as a form of respect for the body, keeping it healthy and ready for the tasks ahead. 8. Scientific evidence supporting the health impact of such diets. The Adventist Health Study. Among Seventh-day Adventists, many of whom follow a vegetarian diet, research shows significantly lower rates of heart disease, cancer, and obesity. This study highlights the health benefits of diets rich in plant-based foods and low in processed items. Blue Zones Research. Areas known as blue zones are regions with high life expectancy, like Okinawa and Sardinia, often have diets that echo the Daniel diet, rich in plant foods, low in animal products, and mindful of portion sizes. Blue Zone residents not only live longer, but report high levels of happiness and health. 9. The ethical and environmental aspects of a plant-based diet. Sustainable eating. Plant-based diets have a smaller environmental footprint compared to diets high in animal products. Growing fruits, vegetables, and grains generally requires less water and land and produces fewer greenhouse gases, which contributes to environmental sustainability. Mindful of creation. For those who connect their diet with their spirituality, choosing plant-based foods can be seen as an extension of care for creation. By eating lower on the food chain, many feel they are more aligned with a respectful stewardship of the Earth's resources. 10. Applying lessons from Daniel's diet today. Holistic health and wellness. The simplicity of Daniel's diet demonstrates the benefits of returning to whole foods and moving away from over-processed options. This approach can reduce exposure to preservatives, artificial colors, and flavorings, supporting overall wellness. Aligning diet with values. Finally, Daniel's choice encourages modern readers to reflect on their own dietary habits. Whether for spiritual, ethical, or health reasons, aligning one's diet with personal values can be deeply fulfilling and contribute to a more intentional, purpose-driven life. This way of eating highlights a holistic approach to health and spirituality, encouraging people to nourish not just their bodies but also their minds and spirits. Daniel's example serves as both a healthful dietary model and a powerful reminder of the value of self-discipline, mindfulness, and aligning with one's core beliefs. Please go into this in greater detail. ChatGPT. Absolutely. Diving deeper into the philosophy, biology, and cultural implications of a Daniel-inspired diet can provide a comprehensive understanding of its far-reaching effects. Here's an expanded look into several dimensions. 1. Nutritional profile of a Daniel-inspired diet. Micronutrients and trace elements. Besides major vitamins A, C, and K, plant-based diets provide important trace elements. Magnesium from greens, zinc from legumes, and selenium from nuts are essential for immune function, hormonal balance, and cellular repair. Each of these micronutrients plays a synergistic role in maintaining health. Polyphenols and phytochemicals, found abundantly in fruits and vegetables. Polyphenols, such as flavonoids and anthocyanins, are bioactive compounds with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. For example, berries are rich in anthocyanins, which protect cells from oxidative stress. Phytochemicals in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, e.g., sulforaphane, also offer protective effects against cancer. 2. Physiological impacts, supporting optimal health. Immune system fortification. A plant-centered diet enhances immune resilience through a balance of vitamins, e.g., C from citrus, E from seeds, and trace minerals that support immune cell function. Certain compounds like beta-glucans in mushrooms directly enhance immune response by activating natural killer cells and macrophages. Gut health and microbiome diversity. Dietary fiber promotes diverse gut flora, which plays a key role in mental health, immunity, and nutrient absorption. Gut bacteria ferment fiber to produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like butyrate, which strengthen the gut lining and reduce inflammation. A healthy microbiome is increasingly recognized for its link to longevity and emotional stability. 3. Psychological and spiritual benefits of the Daniel diet. Cognitive clarity. Research links plant-based diets with improved cognitive function. B vitamins, especially B6, B9, and B12, found in leafy greens and legumes are essential for brain health, as they reduce levels of homocysteine, a compound associated with cognitive decline. Mindfulness practice through simple eating. Daniel's simple, intentional diet encourages mindfulness with food. Eating in this mindful way enhances satiety signals, promotes gratitude, and shifts focus away from indulgence toward nourishment. This shift cultivates an inner calm, aligning mental state with purpose and spiritual values. Spiritual discipline. Fasting and simple eating as part of the Daniel diet reflect ancient practices where food was considered sacred, with eating a spiritual act. This promotes a holistic view where eating is not just a means to satisfy hunger, but an opportunity for self-discipline and honoring one's body as a vessel of service and purpose. 4. Practical application and planning for a balanced plant-based diet. Combining foods for complete protein. While individual plant foods may lack one or more essential amino acids, combinations like rice and beans provide complete protein. Other excellent combinations include lentils and whole grains, or hummus with whole grain bread, each ensuring balanced amino acid intake. Incorporating nutrient-dense snacks. Instead of processed snacks, which often spike blood sugar, nutrient-dense options like raw nuts, seeds, and dried fruits, e.g., figs, dates, offer sustained energy, fiber, and minerals like potassium and magnesium for muscle and nerve health. Focus on omega-3s. Since plant-based diets may lack omega-3 rich seafood, seeds like chia, flaxseed, and walnuts serve as good sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a precursor to EPA and DHA, which support brain health and reduce inflammation. 5. Integrating intermittent fasting for cellular health. Cellular repair and autophagy. Studies on intermittent fasting show its role in promoting autophagy, where cells break down and recycle old or damaged components. This not only optimizes cellular function but also has anti-aging effects, as it reduces cellular waste buildup. Hormonal balance. Fasting stabilizes insulin and can lead to improved insulin sensitivity, supporting balanced blood sugar levels. It can also regulate the release of growth hormone, which aids muscle repair and fat metabolism. Spiritual depth and clarity. In addition to physical health, fasting has deep spiritual roots across cultures as a means to enhance spiritual clarity, self-reflection, and attunement to higher principles, reinforcing a connection to purpose and discipline. 6. Ethical and environmental aspects. Lower environmental impact. Growing plant foods requires fewer resources than animal agriculture. For instance, producing 1 kilogram of lentils takes around 50 times less water than producing the same amount of beef. A shift towards plant-based foods reduces carbon emissions and preserves biodiversity. Plant-based compassion and stewardship. Some interpret Daniel's decision as a form of ethical eating. Consuming less animal-based food is seen as aligning with a compassionate lifestyle, reducing harm to animals, and promoting a harmonious relationship with nature. Circular, sustainable practices. Sustainable agriculture methods like permaculture and crop rotation naturally align with a plant-based diet. These practices promote soil health, reduce pesticide reliance, and create a closed-loop food system that sustains the land for future generations. 7. Aligning dietary habits with mind and spirit. Body as a sacred vessel. For those who view the body as a temple, Daniel's example serves as a reminder to nourish it with intentional, life-giving foods. This alignment nurtures physical vitality and spiritual alignment, reinforcing the body's role in one's life purpose and contribution. Food as medicine. Whole foods are powerful in their ability to heal, fuel, and protect. Herbs and spices like turmeric, garlic, ginger, and cinnamon have medicinal properties, from anti-inflammatory benefits to immune support, offering a natural approach to health management. Personal reflection and gratitude. Integrating gratitude into mealtime rituals promotes mindfulness and respect for the food source. By viewing meals as sacred, individuals can foster a deeper connection to both the food and the act of nourishing the body. 8. Supporting the mind through balanced nutritional choices. Reducing processed foods. Processed foods can contain additives, sugars, and unhealthy fats that may contribute to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. By focusing on whole foods, individuals can avoid these potentially harmful ingredients and support stable energy levels. Influence on neurotransmitters. Omega-3s, B vitamins, and magnesium from plant-based sources support neurotransmitter production. For example, tryptophan, a precursor to serotonin, is found in seeds, nuts, and legumes, aiding in mood regulation and promoting feelings of well-being. Balanced blood sugar for emotional stability. Plant-based foods with fiber lead to slower glucose absorption, preventing blood sugar spikes and crashes, which are often linked to mood swings and low energy. Whole grains, vegetables, and healthy fats all support stable energy release. 9. Inspiration from blue zones and long-living cultures. Insights from blue zones. Blue zones, areas with high life expectancy, typically emphasize whole, plant-based diets with minimal processed foods. The traditional diets in places like Okinawa, Japan, and Loma Linda, California, share similarities with Daniel's approach, underscoring the benefits of eating simply and mindfully. The Mediterranean and plant-based connection. Studies of the Mediterranean diet highlight the health advantages of consuming fruits, vegetables, legumes, and healthy fats. This diet, like Daniel's, reduces inflammation, lowers cholesterol, and supports heart health. Community and social eating. In many Blue Zone regions, meals are shared as a social activity, promoting not just physical but emotional health. Eating mindfully and in good company can reduce stress and promote a sense of belonging, amplifying the benefits of a nutritious diet. 10. Transformative approach to health and purpose. Long-term health. The simplicity of the Daniel diet is its strength. Focusing on what the body needs rather than indulgence can extend lifespan and enhance quality of life. For those with chronic conditions, a shift towards whole foods may reduce reliance on medications and improve resilience. Resilience and self-empowerment. Daniel's example fosters resilience, emphasizing that self-discipline extends beyond diet. This mindset helps individuals cultivate strength in all areas of life, whether in personal goals or spiritual growth. Sacred connection to the earth and creator. By consciously choosing a simple, plant-based diet, some feel a deeper connection to creation, recognizing the cycle of life that nourishes and sustains. This approach reflects a commitment to honoring all forms of life, aligning with many faith-based values of respect and gratitude. In essence, The Daniel-inspired diet isn't just a physical choice, it's a holistic practice that fosters health in body, mind, and spirit. By aligning eating habits with spiritual values, one can cultivate discipline, compassion, and well-being. This approach promotes not only physical health, but also a profound sense of purpose and connection, reinforcing the belief that nourishing the body can be a sacred act with far-reaching benefits. Is there anything more that we can learn about Bible eating healthy? ChatGPT. The Bible offers a surprisingly rich tapestry of teachings on health and dietary practices, emphasizing whole foods, moderation, and mindful eating. These principles align well with what we now understand as essential for a healthy lifestyle. Here's an expanded exploration of what can be learned about a Bible-based eating and how these insights can foster physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being. 1. The Garden of Eden diet: fruits, vegetables, and seeds. Genesis guidance. In Genesis 1 verse 29, God says, "Ere I have given you every herb bearing seed, and every tree, in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." This initial prescription reflects a plant-based approach, emphasizing fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, and seeds as ideal food sources. Nutrient density. Fruits and vegetables are loaded with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect the body from disease. Seeds and nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, and flax seeds, are excellent sources of healthy fats, protein, and fiber. Mental and physical benefits. A diet centered on whole foods from plants promotes balanced energy levels and cognitive clarity, which aligns with biblical teachings on mindfulness and moderation. Whole foods support better concentration, mental resilience, and stable blood sugar levels. 2. Moderation and balance, avoiding overindulgence. Biblical principle of temperance. Proverbs 25 verse 16 advises, If you find honey, eat just enough, too much of it, and you will vomit." This verse highlights the importance of moderation, even with wholesome foods. Avoiding gluttony. Gluttony is cautioned against in multiple passages, e.g., Proverbs 23 verses 20 to 21, Philippians 3 verse 19. Overeating can lead to physical issues like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. The Bible's emphasis on moderation supports the idea of balance and respect for the body, encouraging people to eat mindfully rather than in excess. Practicing self-control. Moderation helps maintain a balanced mind and body, fostering discipline and self-control, which are viewed as virtues in biblical teachings. By cultivating temperance, individuals are reminded that food is fuel for the body, not a source of indulgence. 3. Ancient grains and the bread of life. Whole grains are staples. In the Bible, bread is often referred to as a staff of life. Whole grains like barley, wheat, and spelt were staple foods. These grains are rich in fiber, B vitamins, and essential minerals like magnesium and iron. Symbolic and practical value. Jesus references himself as the bread of life, John 6 verse 35, which shows how central bread and grains are to nourishment and spiritual symbolism. Eating whole grains not only sustains the body, but reminds individuals of sustenance from God. Gut health and satiety. Whole grains support digestion, regulate blood sugar, and provide lasting energy, preventing the quick spikes and drops associated with refined grains. This steadiness is beneficial for mental clarity, a state often valued for meditation and reflection. 4. The role of fasting and spiritual clarity. Physical and spiritual benefits. Fasting is referenced in both the Old and New Testaments. Moses, Elijah, and Jesus all fasted, using this practice to gain spiritual clarity and connection with God. Cellular health. Modern science shows that fasting can stimulate autophagy, the body's process of clearing out damaged cells. This aligns with the biblical practice, suggesting that fasting is not just spiritual but can be physically restorative. Promoting mindfulness and self-discipline. Fasting fosters discipline and enhances mindfulness about eating habits. It also encourages gratitude, as one becomes more aware of the abundance in ordinary meals, reinforcing appreciation for each bite. 5. Clean and unclean foods in Leviticus. Guidelines for dietary purity. Leviticus 11 provides detailed instructions on clean and unclean foods. This includes fish with fins and scales, land animals that chew cud and have split hooves, and certain birds and insects. Health and hygiene. While the primary focus of these dietary laws may have been spiritual, they also had practical health implications. Avoiding certain animals, like pigs, which can carry parasites and pathogens, and shellfish, which may be contaminated in certain waters, could have reduced foodborne illnesses in ancient times. Promoting conscious food choices. Even today, this guidance can be seen as promoting discernment in food choices. Making conscious decisions about food sources, quality, and preparation aligns with the Bible's holistic view of health. 6. Natural sweeteners and avoidance of excessive sugar. Honey and moderation. Honey is one of the few sweeteners mentioned in the Bible and is noted for its beneficial properties, as seen in Proverbs 16 verse 24. A gracious words are like honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Avoiding refined sugars. While refined sugars are not mentioned directly, biblical principles caution against overindulgence. Consuming natural sweeteners like honey, dates, or figs is preferable, as they contain additional nutrients and fiber, which help slow the absorption of sugars. Balanced blood sugar. Excess sugar intake is linked to numerous health issues, from diabetes to cognitive decline. By following the biblical example of moderation, one can maintain balanced blood sugar, energy levels, and overall health. 7. Oils, olives, and the use of healthy fats. Olive oil in the Bible. Olive oil is often mentioned as a blessing and was used not only in cooking but also for anointing and healing purposes. Rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, olive oil supports heart health, reduces inflammation, and can protect against chronic diseases. Other healthy fats. While olive oil is predominant, the principle of consuming healthy fats extends to other sources like nuts, seeds, and avocados, which provide essential fatty acids that nourish the brain and body. Moderation in fat consumption. The Bible cautions against excess, and even with healthy oils, moderation remains important. Healthy fats support brain health, hormone balance, and skin health, but overconsumption can lead to weight gain and other issues. 8. Herbs and spices for flavor and healing. Biblical use of herbs. Herbs like hyssop, coriander, cumin, and mint are mentioned throughout the Bible. These herbs were used both for culinary and medicinal purposes, symbolizing healing and blessing. Medicinal properties. Many herbs and spices have antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties. For example, cumin and coriander aid digestion, while hyssop has been used traditionally for respiratory health. Symbolism and rituals. Herbs were often used symbolically, connecting the physical act of consumption with spiritual meaning. Incorporating herbs and spices enhances the flavor and health of meals, promoting a diet that is both enjoyable and nutritious. 9. Social and communal aspects of eating. Sharing meals and community. The Bible frequently emphasizes the importance of sharing meals, whether in the context of Passover, communion, or everyday fellowship. Eating together strengthens bonds, fosters a sense of community, and can reduce stress. Gratitude and mindfulness. Biblical traditions around meals often involve prayer and thanksgiving. This promotes gratitude and mindfulness, allowing individuals to reflect on their blessings and enjoy their food more fully. Science shows that gratitude and positive social interaction contribute to lower stress, better digestion, and improved mental health. Eating in a sacred manner. Recognizing the sacred nature of food and meals encourages a sense of reverence, helping to avoid mindless eating or overeating. 10. Water and wine. Symbolism and practical health tips. Water as essential. Water is often used symbolically in the Bible, representing purification, life, and spiritual renewal. Staying well hydrated is vital for all bodily functions, from circulation to detoxification and cognition. Wine in moderation. Wine is mentioned as both a gift and a potential cause for caution. Moderate wine consumption, especially red wine, is associated with heart health due to polyphenols like resveratrol. However, excessive drinking is discouraged, aligning with the biblical principle of temperance. Practical hydration. Drinking sufficient water each day is essential for metabolism, toxin elimination, and cellular function, enhancing both physical and mental health. Holistic integration. Mind, body, and spirit. The Bible's approach to food is holistic, considering physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual purity. By following biblical principles. Physical health, whole foods, balanced eating, and hydration maintain optimal body function. Mental clarity, avoiding excessive sugar, refined foods, and toxins supports mental focus, emotional stability, and clarity. Spiritual alignment, practices of moderation, gratitude, and mindful eating encourage a strong spiritual foundation, helping individuals see food as part of their divine stewardship over their bodies. In sum, biblical eating practices encourage a way of life that is as nourishing to the spirit as it is to the body, fostering health, gratitude, and unity with one's values and purpose. Please go into any more greater detail that you can please, and thank you. ChatGPT. Absolutely. There's quite a bit more to explore regarding the biblical perspective on eating and how this approach aligns with holistic health and spirituality. Let's dive deeper into several key areas of biblical dietary principles, emphasizing how each component serves both the physical and spiritual health of individuals. 1. Symbolism of bread and grains, the sacred nourishment. Symbol of provision and gratitude. Bread is one of the most frequently mentioned foods in the Bible, embodying God's provision. In ancient times, the process of making bread was labor-intensive, requiring harvest, threshing, milling, and baking. This process instilled gratitude and respect for food. When Jesus referred to himself as the bread of life, John 6 verse 35, he used this common yet essential food to teach about spiritual sustenance and dependence on God. Role of ancient grains in health. The whole grains like barley, spelt, and wheat consumed in biblical times were nutrient-dense and fibrous, unlike today's refined grains. Fiber aids digestion, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and fosters satiety. Additionally, whole grains contain trace minerals such as magnesium and selenium, which are crucial for metabolism and immune function. Spiritual lesson. Eating bread mindfully can be seen as a spiritual practice, reminding one to rely on God for sustenance. Recognizing food as a blessing reinforces humility and gratitude, as seen in practices such as breaking bread with others and offering thanks before meals. 2. Fasting as a path to physical renewal and spiritual clarity. Physical rejuvenation. Beyond spiritual intentions, fasting serves as a period of physical cleansing. Studies have shown that fasting can induce autophagy, a process where cells break down damaged components to create new ones, potentially reducing the risk of disease. Cultivating spiritual dependence. Biblically, fasting represents humbling oneself before God, as seen in figures like Daniel, Elijah, and Jesus. Fasting is mentioned as a way to deny oneself, allowing a person to refocus on spiritual priorities and seek God's guidance and strength. Enhancing focus and sensitivity. Many find that fasting enhances mental clarity and emotional resilience, creating a heightened awareness of one's surroundings and inner state. This state is conducive to meditation, prayer, and discernment, often resulting in a stronger sense of purpose and closeness to God. 3. Clean versus unclean foods. An early approach to hygienic eating. Ancient health guidelines. Clean and unclean food laws, Leviticus 11, likely served as safeguards against illness. Pigs and shellfish, for example, can carry parasites and contaminants in their flesh, which could lead to illness. Avoiding these foods helped safeguard against health risks in a time with limited knowledge of pathogens. Practicing discernment. Beyond physical health, adhering to dietary restrictions was a way for the Israelites to practice obedience and discernment. Choosing clean foods over unclean reflected a commitment to purity and obedience to divine guidance. This mindset encourages believers to consider the spiritual implications of their dietary choices, fostering intentionality and care over what they consume. Connection to modern eating habits. While most religious restrictions on specific foods have relaxed, the concept of making conscious, mindful choices about food remains relevant. Avoiding processed or overly indulgent foods in favor of wholesome, nourishing options helps create a sense of discipline and care for the body. 4. Embracing herbs, spices, and natural medicines. Herbs in biblical times. Herbs and spices, such as mint, cumin, hyssop, and frankincense, were valued for their healing properties and symbolic meanings. For example, hyssop was used in cleansing rituals and is known today for its antimicrobial properties, while frankincense, also used medicinally, has anti-inflammatory properties. Healing and restoration. In biblical contexts, anointing oils and herbs were believed to promote both physical and spiritual healing. For instance, the Good Samaritan in Jesus' parable treated wounds with oil and wine, Luke 10 verse 34, indicating that natural substances were relied upon for their restorative qualities. Reconnect Ion with creation. Using herbs and natural medicines aligns with a worldview that sees the earth as divinely crafted. Modern herbal practices can be seen as an extension of this connection, reminding us to turn to nature's bounty for healing rather than overly processed products. 5. Living water and the principle of hydration. Water as a sacred element. Water is central in the Bible, symbolizing life, purity, and renewal. Jesus' offer of a living water, John 4 verse 10, represents an invitation to spiritual fulfillment, just as water itself is critical to physical life. Importance of hydration. Proper hydration is essential for physical health, aiding digestion, circulation, and cellular function. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, confusion, and even physical illness, underscoring water's importance. Mindful drinking as spiritual practice. Drinking water mindfully can remind us of our dependence on God for sustenance, both physically and spiritually. Staying hydrated can become a daily reminder of God's provision and care. 6. Wine, the dual role of celebration and moderation. Wine as symbol and tradition. Wine is present in both celebratory and sacred contexts in the Bible, symbolizing joy, blessing, and communion. Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine at a wedding in Cana, John 2 verses 1 to 11, and wine is central in the Lord's Supper, where it represents his blood. Health benefits of moderate wine consumption. Modern studies reveal that moderate wine intake, particularly red wine, has benefits due to antioxidants like resveratrol, which can promote heart health. However, moderation is critical. Excessive wine consumption is discouraged in verses like Ephesians 5 verse 18. A lesson in temperance. Wine exemplifies the biblical teaching of balance. The Bible's approval of moderate wine intake encourages enjoyment without indulgence, promoting self-control as a way to honor both body and spirit. 7. Emphasis on food as a community bond. Fostering unity through shared meals. Many biblical meals, from the Passover to the communal meals of the early church, reinforced the idea of togetherness. Eating together cultivates connection, empathy, and understanding, strengthening the sense of unity within a community. Breaking bread in humility. Sharing food is a form of service and hospitality, values emphasized throughout Scripture. Welcoming others to the table aligns with Christ's message of love and humility. Enhancing physical and mental health through connection. Science now validates the impact of social eating on mental health, showing that sharing meals reduces stress, fosters relaxation, and enhances digestion. These findings underscore the health benefits of gathering in a spirit of thankfulness and openness. 8. Foods associated with longevity and vitality. Figs, dates, and pomegranates. These foods, frequently mentioned in the Bible, were staples of the Mediterranean diet, which is linked to longevity and reduced risk of chronic diseases. Pomegranates, rich in antioxidants, support heart health, while figs and dates provide fiber and essential minerals like potassium and magnesium. Olive oil's role in heart health. Olive oil, also deeply symbolic in the Bible, supports heart health and cognitive function. It contains monounsaturated fats and antioxidants that can reduce inflammation and support cellular function. Legacy of the Mediterranean diet. The combination of vegetables, grains, fruits, and healthy fats that characterized biblical diets is similar to the modern Mediterranean diet, which is widely recommended for its benefits in reducing chronic illness and supporting overall vitality. 9. Discipline and awareness through intentional eating. Avoiding overindulgence. Proverbs and other wisdom literature caution against gluttony. Practicing restraint in eating can foster a heightened sense of awareness, helping to avoid the physical and mental fog often associated with overindulgence. Elevating meals as spiritual practice. By viewing food as a gift rather than mere sustenance, eating becomes an act of worship. This approach encourages individuals to honor their body and soul by being mindful about both the quantity and quality of food consumed. Guiding modern choices with ancient wisdom. The ancient emphasis on intentional eating can influence modern habits, encouraging the avoidance of fast, highly processed foods in favor of deliberate, wholesome choices. 10. Daily gratitude and acknowledgement of provision. Thanksgiving as daily practice. Offering thanks before meals is a tradition that stems from the Bible's call to gratitude. This acknowledgement grounds people in the present moment, reminding them of blessings and fostering a sense of contentment. Reducing stress through gratitude. Studies have shown that gratitude positively impacts mental health, reducing stress and improving overall mood. In this way, biblical gratitude serves not just as spiritual discipline, but as a practice that enhances physical and emotional well-being. Aligning eating with spiritual awareness. Taking time to express gratitude and acknowledge God's provision enhances awareness and cultivates a mindful approach to food, transforming each meal into an opportunity for spiritual reflection. Conclusion: a holistic guide to health and spiritual living. The Bible's teachings on food and health offer more than just a diet. They represent a way of living that nurtures body, mind, and spirit. By embracing these principles of gratitude, moderation, and mindfulness, one can experience a profound connection between physical health and spiritual fulfillment. These ancient practices remind us that honoring the body through food is deeply intertwined with honoring the divine, encouraging a harmonious lifestyle that reflects both care for the self and reverence for creation. Please help me write a disclaimer for me to turn this conversation into a mini audiobook for YouTube, please. ChatGPT. Certainly. Here's a disclaimer you can use for your mini audiobook on YouTube. You may want to adjust it to fit your style or specific requirements. Disclaimer. The content presented in this mini audiobook is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The discussions and insights shared herein are based on interpretations of biblical principles and dietary practices as well as general health knowledge. While these insights may offer guidance on healthy living and spiritual nourishment, they are not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Listeners are encouraged to seek the counsel of qualified health professionals before making significant changes to their diet or lifestyle. Any reliance you place on the information provided in this audiobook is strictly at your own risk. The creator of this content does not assume any liability for any injuries, losses, or damages in connection with the use of this material. Thank you for joining this exploration of health and spirituality through the lens of biblical teachings. Feel free to modify any part of it to better reflect your voice or the specific themes of your project.